Brady Ellison's just one of the bright shining stars in Shanghai. 300 of the world's top archers came to China, hoping their ship would come in at the first stop on the 2012 Archery World Cup Tour. It's against this electrifying backdrop that these world-class archers are seeking their fortune. They've been competing all week long inside the Juan Sports Center. The elimination rounds providing some surprises, some upsets, whittling down the field for the select few still left standing. They'll be fighting for World Cup points and World Cup medals at this, the first stage of the 2012 Archery World Cup.
The finals in Shanghai will be in the Pudong River that we are here. It's a very special venue because we go to a public area and we build a temporary venue for hosting the finals. The challenge for organizers is to make an area public, safe. So we have fenced the entire area, we have security, we have the competition field, which is the main area, and we have the warm-up area, which is here behind. For the archers, it's also a quite challenging situation because we are close to a river with big buildings on a side, so the wind is changing. It's not consistent as normally happen in our open venues. The boats are moving, so we have movements in a side, we have winds, flow, and we have rain, which is the case this weekend in Shanghai.
Of course, last year in Istanbul at the World Cup Finals, Albina Loganova was taking on Marcella Tonioli along the banks of the Bosphorus in Istanbul, and Tonioli able to eliminate Loganova in the earlier rounds. That opened up the door for an all-American final between Erica Anschutz of the United States and Christy Collin of the USA. Christy with a tough shot right there, and that provided the opportunity for Erica Anschutz to win her very first World Cup gold medal. Fast forward to 2012, the first stage of the Archery World Cup Tour in Shanghai, and it's a rematch between Albina Loganova and Marcella Tonioli in the gold medal match in the compound competition along the banks of the Huangpu River. There's a good look at Marcella Tonioli, who won her first gold medal on the World Cup circuit in Ogden, Utah last summer, gunning for her second gold medal, but she'll have to get past Albina Loganova once again. There's the score, 114 to 112 after the first four ends. It was tied at 26 all after the first end, 57 all at the midway point of this match. Tonioli moved ahead by 1 point after the third end, and here, going into the fifth end, it's a 2-point lead. But Albina Loganova starts off strong in the fifth and final end, fires a bullseye, so Marcella Tonioli knows she's got her work cut out for her and has to answer. Tonioli, from Italy, 25 years old. It's on the line, but it's in there, and it's a 10. So the lead remains at 2, 124 to 122. The pressure on Albina Loganova, who won a World Cup title in 2010 in Edinburgh. That one's on the line, and they put the asterisk by it. They'll have to check it as soon as the match is over. Tonioli also with a 9. So once again, the lead remains at 2, 133, 131. As the ships float by slowly in the background, Loganova's final shot, a 9 as well, and she knows she's in trouble, as Marcella Tonioli needs just a 7 to tie and 8 to win. She gets a 10. And by finishing up with that bullseye, Marcella Tonioli of Italy captures her second gold medal on the World Cup circuit, the first coming last year in Ogden, Utah at stage 3 when she defeated Erica Anschutz of the United States. Here in Shanghai, it was all tied after the first end, the second end, Tonioli pulling away in the third end and winning by 3. I was expecting a difficult final, and obviously, to start with an 8, it's not so easy to recover. But then I shot good and I recovered, and at the end of the match, 3 points turned out to be enough. Enough certainly for Marcella Tonioli, who strides atop the victory stand for the second time on this day. Earlier, she had picked up a bronze medal in the women's team competition, but now the gold medal goes around her neck. Once again, we rewind the clock to last year's World Cup finals in Istanbul. The men's compound competition, Sergio Pagni on the right, Jorge Jimenez on the left, both eliminated early on. That left it to the Americans Rio Wild and Roger Willett Jr. to battle it out for the gold medal. Roger Willett Jr. on his game early while Rio Wild was trying to figure things out. By the time Rio finally got dialed in, it was too late. Roger Willett Jr. able to lift his arms in victory. Here in China, a chance for Rio Wild to atone for that loss in the finals of the World Cup last year in Istanbul. Rio, who won last year the gold medal here in Shanghai at stage 4 with a perfect score of 150, facing Julio Ricardo Fierro of Mexico. Julio Ricardo ranked 21st in the world, just 22 years old, being cheered on by his Mexican teammate Pedro Vivas Alcala in the crowd. After 4 ends, though, it's not going well for Fierro, who is trailing by 7 points, 118 to 111. So a lot of ground to be made up by the 22-year-old from Mexico, who began competing on the international stage in 2009, won a gold medal the next year with the Mexican mixed team at the World Cup stop in Turkey, and he starts off strong in this 4th and final end, firing a bullseye, trying to mount a comeback against Rio Wild, who's been shooting well all day long. This is one of the rare occasions he's outside the 10 ring. That opens the door a little bit for Fierro as it cuts the lead down to 6. But Fierro needs to shoot 10s from here on out, and that will not help his cause at all. A 7 with his second shot. And now the opportunity is there for Rio Wild to close the door, and Rio Wild comes up with a 10 on his second shot, recovering from the 9 on the first shot. And the final arrow of the day for Julio Ricardo Fierro. He salvages this end with 2 10s, but that 7 obviously not helping. And there it is, the final 10 on the final arrow by Rio Wild of the United States. And Rio Wild, who came in ranked number 2 in the world, and of course won that silver medal at the World Cup finals in Istanbul last year in the shootout with USA teammate Roger Willett Jr., who was eliminated, by the way, earlier this week. Well, Rio Wild able to stand in the victory circle and once again celebrate a victory in Shanghai. The final score, Rio Wild of the United States 147, 138 for Julio Ricardo Fierro.
I try to shoot the score more than I try to shoot against my opponent, because when you try to shoot against your opponent, whether you believe whatever, it ends up better for you if you just play your own game, because otherwise you'll end up in the game where they're close together and you end up messing up. So to me, I focus on my score more than I do on what they're doing.
And so that laser focus allows Rio Wild to stride atop the victory podium here in Shanghai once again, collecting another gold medal. He did it the year before with a perfect score of 150, and he's back again, picking up more hardware. Time now for the women's team recurve gold medal match. Korea taking on India. And there's a good look at the team from Korea. Kibobe, Lee Sung-jin, and Chang Hai-jin. They had a 19-point win over the Swiss, held off the Americans, and then scored an 8-point win over China. India will counter with Bombela Devi, Chakravarti Swero, and Deepika Kumari. Kumari, a rising star in this sport, 17 years old. She lost in the semifinals in Shanghai in a shoot-off with Bérengère Chou of France last year, going home with a bronze medal. Here she's trying to go for a gold medal. She drills a 10 on the first shot, but Ms. Swero outside the 10 ring. And the same is true for Bombela Devi outside the 10 ring. She scores a 9. So it's 10-8-9 for India, trying to come back, trying to battle back against this very strong contingent from Korea. Chang Hai-shin setting the table for Kibobe. And Kibobe with a perfect 10 right there, the bullseye. And the Koreans feeling very good about their chances at this moment. Deepika Kumari continuing to shoot very well, very strong. Followed up by Chakravarti Swero. Swero, though, with a 7. And that will not help the chances of India as they finish off with the shot by Bombela Devi. That's a 9. But Korea in great position to pick up the gold medal in the women's team recurve competition. A great shot right there by Lee Sung-jin. A 10 for Sung-jin. Ms. Cheng with a good shot, and she's happy about that. As well she should be, because all Ki Bo-bai needs to do right now is hit the target and wrap up the victory, and she does just that. So an easy victory for the Koreans, who are battling and trying to get themselves prepared for the Olympic Games coming up in August in London, coming here to Shanghai to begin their campaign towards the Olympic Games, where they expect to be a very strong contender there. So there they are, the Koreans, the winners of the women's team recurve gold medal, coming up with a strong performance, and their ship comes in Shanghai. The final score, 222 to 212 over the team from India. First of all, I was a little bit nervous because of the final, but I tried to enjoy the competition, and I was quite satisfied with the performance, and I'm happy. So a very familiar scene for the Korean team as they stride atop the victory podium here in Shanghai. Ki Bo-bai, Lee Sung-jin, and Chang Hai-jin accepting the gold medal in the women's team recurve competition. Taking you back once again in time to last year's World Cup finals in Istanbul, it was Béréngère Hsu of France defeating Jung De-somi of Korea in the individual bronze medal match, so the Korean does not get to the gold medal match. That's where Cheng Ming of China faces Deepika Kumari of India. Ms. Kumari needs a 9 to send this to a shoot-off, and she does indeed get that 9, ties the score at 26. So we go to the shoot-off, and on the first shot, Cheng Ming with a 9, Kumari with an 8. It is all over, and Cheng Ming of China wins the gold medal. Of course, none of those 4 archers were able to qualify for the recurve gold medal match here in Shanghai, stage 1 of the Archery World Cup Tour. There's a good look at Ki Bo-bai of Korea, number 2 in the world, coming into this competition, facing Fang Yuting of China, who is ranked 7th in the world, 23 years old, and she is going up against Ki Bo-bai. All eyes on these 2 archers. After 3 sets, Ki Bo-bai has a 4-2 lead in the match. Fang Yuting shooting first, and Fang trying to mount the comeback, starts off with an 8. Off to the right, disappointed with her shot. Fang Yuting, who had defeated Deepika Kumari in the quarterfinals to get here, watches Ki Bo-bai fire at 10. And that puts the pressure back on the shoulders of Fang Yuting. The Chinese archer, just 23 years old, responds with a 10 of her own. But Ki Bo-bai has been in this situation before. She has won 10 World Cup medals already during her career. 6 of them have been gold. She's used to the pressure. She comes through with a 9. So Ki Bo-bai leading in this set, 19-18. And a 10 for Fang Yuting in front of the hometown crowd, getting a loud round of applause. But Ki Bo-bai, very focused, very concentrated, dials in and scores a 10, a bullseye on her final shot, and you can see the emotion, not only on her face, but on the face of her coach as well. The Koreans hoping to have a much better performance coming up in August at the Olympic Games in London, and this is the road. This is where it starts as Ki Bo-bai comes up with the victory, 6-2 over Fang Yuting.
항상 제가 연습했을 때 그런 루틴을
I tried to stay
많이
focused on my training, even though the wind was changing. But I thought about the practice routine in Korea, and that's why I overcame the changeable winds today.
바람을 이길 수 있었던 것 같아요.
So after splitting the first set with Fang Yuting, Ki Bo-bai wins the second set to go up 3-1, ties in the third set, and takes the fourth set to win the match 6-2. Ki Bo-bai, who won a pair of gold medals here in Shanghai 2 years ago, wins another in 2012. Moving on now to the recurve men's team bronze medal match. There's the Korean team, Im Dong-hyun, Kim Woo-jin, and Kim Boop-min. Of course, the Koreans eliminated at the Olympics in Beijing by the Ukrainians 4 years ago in 2008. The Ukrainian team, Dmytro Rachov, Viktor Ruban, and Markian Ivashko. Ruban, of course, an Olympic champion. As the crowd settles in for this match, which after 2 ends finds the Koreans leading by 109 to 108. We'll pick up the action, though, midway through this third end, and the Ukrainians have come back. They now lead by 2 as they fired 3 straight 10s to start off the third end. They make it a 4th straight 10. Dmytro Rachov, right dead center in the middle of the target. And now Markian Ivashko will try to continue the string, keep it alive. He cannot. An 8 for Ivashko, but a very strong third end for the Ukraine. The Koreans must get going. They must start to answer, but the 8 won't help. Neither will the 9. They need to be shooting 10s at this point in the match to try to get back into it. The final arrow outside the yellow rings. That's a disappointing 8, and the Koreans shaking their head, wondering what's going wrong. The Ukraine building an insurmountable lead in that third end and able to put this one away by 4 points by the final score of 221 to 217. Now we move on to the gold medal match between the United States of America against the team from France. Look at the Americans, Brady Ellison in the center, flanked by Joe Fanchen on the right and Jacob Wookie on the left. This team survived a semifinal shoot-off with Korea to get to the gold medal match against Gaël Prévost, Thomas Faucheron, and Romain Girouil. So the 3 Frenchmen taking on the 3 Americans in the men's team recurve gold medal match. Jacob Wookie of the United States, after 12 arrows, about to step up to the shooting line. The arrows being retrieved, and there you see the scores. 109 out of a possible 120 for the team from France. And it's the USA up by 2 points. Prévost trying to bring France back. Shoots a 9 right here, midway through this third end of the match. Now Faucheron. Faucheron also with a 9.
3, 2.
And Girouil with an 8. So not a strong finish to that third end for the team from France as they fall even further behind the United States. Jacob Wookie doing a great job for the United States in this match. Continues to build on that lead, as does Joe Fanchen, who trains with Brady Ellison at the Olympic Training Center down in San Diego. Brady eyeing the target, lines it up, and with the clock winding down, strikes dead center, hits the center of the target. A bullseye for Brady Ellison, and the USA increases the lead to 6 after that end, 168 to 162. After 3 ends, there you see the scores. The United States only leaving 12 points out there. Meanwhile, France 6 points behind in the match, heading to the 4th and final end. We'll pick it up late in that 4th end. Romain Girouil
10.
trying to follow up the 10 by his countrymen, and he does just that. Good grouping by the team from France as they come back strong and score 57 points in the 4th end on the final 6 shots. But the United States, with Brady Ellison shooting the final shot, needing just 5 or better to win this one and put it away. And the man who is perhaps the United States' best hope of winning a gold medal in London comes up with a bullseye on the final shot, and so it is high fives all around for the Americans. The United States celebrating another victory here in Shanghai at stage 1 of the 2012 Archery World Cup.
I felt like I shot strong, but not as well as I would have liked in the individual rounds. But I did well, and I was able to win, and I was very happy about that. And obviously in the team rounds too. And I felt like coming back this year, I shot even better, and it didn't quite work out the exact same way. But I was very happy about this week and how it went.
It's been a strong week for Jacob Wookie, Brady Ellison, Joe Fanchen as they defeat Spain, India, Korea, and now France for the gold medal. In Istanbul last fall, Gaël Prévost of France was in the individual bronze medal match against Dmytro Rachov of the Ukraine, who picked up the bronze medal got the victory there in the gold medal match. The American Brady Ellison facing Dai Zhaozhang of China. Brady Ellison, who had already won a World Cup title the year before in Scotland, in Edinburgh, going for back-to-back gold medal victories, and he gets it in Istanbul, celebrating a back-to-back title. Fast forward once again to 2012, Shanghai, and this is the Recurve bronze medal match, and this was perhaps the most thrilling, suspenseful match of the entire weekend. In this bronze medal match, Thomas Aubert of France facing Cheng Chuxian of Malaysia, who came in ranked 35th in the world. Now, Cheng Chuxian was trailing in the match 5-1, but he was able to come back and force a tiebreaker. It's going to go to a shoot-off. Basically, in the shoot-off, it is one and done. One arrow for each archer. Closest to the center wins. Thomas Aubert. Outside the 10 ring, outside the 9 ring, in the 8 ring, opens the door for Cheng Chuxian. But Cheng Chuxian also with an 8, and that smile there, a nervous smile, as both archers must await the outcome. The judges measuring very carefully, and finally the decision is made, and the match is awarded to Cheng Chuxian. An amazing comeback. Once again, he was trailing 5-1 early in this match, but was able to get it to the tiebreaker and wins the shoot-off and defeats Thomas Aubert. Certainly a disappointing and discouraging day for Thomas Aubert, who saw a 4-point lead disappear down the stretch, took it to the shoot-off, but lost by millimeters. So that leaves the recurve gold medal match for the men, featuring Dmytro Rachov of the Ukraine, ranked 5th in the world. He had gotten to the gold medal match by defeating Im Dong-hyung of Korea, among others. He'll be facing the #1 archer in the world, though. That's Brady Ellison of the United States. Brady with a big cheering section. His American teammates coming out in force to support him here, and Brady off to a great start after the first 2 sets. The American ranked #1, leading by the score of 4-0. And you can tell by the flags in the background, the wind has certainly picked up along the Huangpu River here in Shanghai, making conditions difficult, especially for the archer on target #1, and that's Dmytro Rachov, who fires a 9. Brady Ellison taking his time, lining up the shot, trying to put this match away. With a 4-0 lead already, he matches the score with a 9 right there. So Rachov trying to get back into this match. And a 10 certainly helps his cause. Rachov trying to battle the winds.
There we go.
While Brady Ellison on target #2 gets back into the center ring. And Rachov outside the 9 ring scores an 8. It's on the line with the asterisk. So Brady Ellison obviously with a golden opportunity right here to pick up some more gold. And Brady does what Brady has to do, what he needs to do, and it is all over very quickly. Brady Ellison with a fist bump and a hug from his coach. You can see the Olympic rings on his forearm right there. But Brady Ellison, #1, once again, winning in Shanghai. Last year, didn't make it to the gold medal match at stage 4.
I think it's good to keep, for me to keep placing in these World Cups and stuff, because I get more experience on the international side of things shooting matches, but also it makes a lot of people want to shoot good against me and beat me. And them wanting to beat me and them always shooting good against me is going to make me much better, because I'm always going to be pushed. And that's, I think, the thing that I realized last year is, I wasn't realizing that everyone wanted to come up and beat me because of my success. And then now that I know that, I look forward to it, because I know every single match I go into, everyone's going to shoot 100% against me, and it's going to make me better.
So in this nation known for its dynasties, Brady Ellison continues to build his own dynasty, winning yet another gold medal here at stage 1 of the 2012 Archery World Cup.